This is phase 1 and should be completed for a minimum of 4 times before moving on to phase 2. We are starting with diaphragmatic breathing. So lay down on your back with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach. To start, we're not going to change the depth or the amount of air that you breathe in. I just want you to bring your focus and attention to the hand that's on your belly. As you inhale, you are going to feel the belly rise into your hand, and then exhale as you fall. We are going for 10 repetitions. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. So things to think about, you could imagine a balloon being in the bottom of your stomach. And as you inhale, imagine that balloon expanding. And then exhale, let that balloon kind of relax and come back to its natural position. As you continue to breathe into your bottom hand, bring your awareness to the hand that's on your chest and see if there's any movement underneath that hand. A little bit is okay, but we want to try to really just keep the movement in the belly. Moving on to posterior thorax breathing, so transition onto your knees. Sit back on your heels with your hands about 6 to 8 inches away from your knees, elbows straight with your fists into the floor. From this position, round your upper back, separating your shoulder blades. So we're going for a nice rounded upper back, but we want to maintain a neutral lower back and a neutral cervical neck. So eyes are going to be on the floor in front of you, hips to the heels, but not rounding under. So we're going for 10 breaths here. As you inhale, think about pushing your spine up towards the ceiling, almost like through the shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, allowing that shape just to relax. So inhale, you're going to feel the shoulder blades wrap around the body, coming forward as the spine goes back. And then exhale, just relax. So we're creating space in the back body, creating space in the posterior rib cage. As you breathe, keep those elbows locked out with pressure of the fists into the floor to help create that rounded back. Okay, next, lie on your back for anterior and posterior pelvic tilt. Assume the same position that you did for the diaphragmatic breathing, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and then place your hands on the little hip bones right above your hip crease. So anterior tilt, you are going to feel those fingertips move away from your belly button as you create space underneath the lower back, tilting your pelvis forward in an anterior position. And then the alternate would be a posterior tilt, feeling those fingertips come closer to you, come closer to your head as you smush your lower back into the floor, eliminating that space. That is your posterior tilt. So we're alternating 10 times anterior tilt and then posterior tilt. From here, go into a posterior tilt, feeling the lower back press into the floor, tightening up the abdominals. Bring the legs into a tabletop position. The knees are at 90 degrees, knees stacked over hips, as we transition into dead bug breathing. So the arms are going to reach up towards the ceiling in this upside down tabletop position. Here, none of the limbs are moving, but we are working on the diaphragmatic breathing in this position while maintaining core stabilization. If you need a reminder, you can place one of your hands on your belly and one on your chest, or you can keep them reaching up towards the ceiling. The main goal throughout these 10 breaths is that you maintain contact of your lower back to the floor while continuing to perform your diaphragmatic breathing, feeling your belly expand with your inhalation and relax with your exhalation. Chin tucks, 10 reps for a 5-second hold each. Both feet flat on the floor. Bring your arms down by your side. Place 2 fingertips on your chin. As you press the back of your neck towards the floor, bringing your chin straight down towards the floor. So Lisa's going to show 2 variations of what you're not going to do. You're not going to look up, tilting your chin up toward the ceiling. And you're not going to look down, bringing your chin to your chest. So those fingertips are to guide you, pulling the chin straight back, creating that bunched up skin. 10 repetitions, 5-second hold each. Sideline thoracic rotation, 5 repetitions each side. Start with lying on your right side with your knees bent at 90 degrees in line with your hips, arms out in front of you, elbows straight, palms stacked. Inhale, reach the top fingertips forward past the bottom. As you exhale, twist from your spine, twist your rib cage, bringing your chest facing the ceiling. Eyes follow that left elbow. Return to your starting position. So for this variation, we are keeping that top elbow bent. As you pull, imagine those fingertips hooking your sternum and then pulling your chest towards the ceiling. With each rotation, you are going to emphasize your exhale for a minimum of 2 breaths in that full rotation so that we're not rushing through this and we're increasing the mobility rather than just continuing to move through what you already have. After your 5th rep, switch sides. As you rotate, if you feel your top knee starting to pop up away from the bottom knee, You can place a soft object between your knees and then squeeze them together so that we can isolate the lower back and really focus on just mobilizing and moving through the upper back. Glute rocks, 10 reps. For this exercise, come up to your knees, and the distance between your knees is 2 fist widths. So make 2 fists, place on the floor, and bring your big toes together and your heels apart. You want to maintain this position throughout the entire exercise. Place the hands on the floor, roughly a foot in front of you. Elongating your spine, the crown of your head is going to go forward as your tailbone rocks backwards. Squeeze your glutes, send the hips forward over the knees, and then relax back, hips to heels. You are not changing shape with this movement. The only thing that really here is moving is the knees. As you shift forward, the pelvis does not round under, the back does not round. Don't get this confused with your cat-cow. So continuing to lengthen the spine, crown of the head forward, tailbone back, just rocking in and out, hips to heels. Hip flexor stretch, 2 30-second holds each side. Start by bringing the right foot forward with the knee at about 90 degrees in front of you and a 90-degree bend in the back knee. For this variation, we are keeping the shoulder stacked over the hip and the hip stacked over the knee. Assume a posterior pelvic tilt position, engaging the lower abdominals and the glutes to kind of wrap the pelvis under, and feel a slight stretch in the front of the left hip. If you want a little more, you can let those hips shift forward, maybe about an inch or two, but we are not going to go diving into that front knee. Keeping the shoulders relative above the hips and the hip over the knee. After your 30 seconds, switch sides. Levator scapular stretch, 10 reps each side. You can perform this in any position. Lisa's going to show just sitting down on the floor. Start by taking your chin to the right collarbone, of looking down at the floor outside of your hip, and then take it over to the other side. Be mindful of what the rest of your body is doing, keeping your hips in a neutral position, chest up, shoulders back, and just moving the head. Thoracic extension with a foam roller, 5 breaths at 3 spots along your spine. So first start with the foam roller right across the shoulder blades. Your hips are going to remain on the floor, knees bent, feet flat. Interlace the fingertips behind the head and then bring your elbow tips together to touch. So as you lean back over the foam roller, you want to use those hands to help keep the chin tucked, so that we're not dumping the head backward, moving through the neck. Use your abdominals to come on up, but don't get this confused with an active crunch exercise. The key focus here is to extend the thoracic spine over the foam roller. As you move, we want to keep a little bit of tension in the lower abdominals so that you're not fully arching the lower back, with minimal movement to the true target area of the mid-back. After 5 reps, choose a different spot, either above or below where you started, and repeat 5 breaths. You might feel some cracks or pops in the joints. That is totally normal. Just keep breathing, keep moving. If you do not have a foam roller, you can always use a medicine ball. For this variation, you will only need to do this pretty much at one spot. We're going to get really nice global extension of the upper back. Again, keep the hips down, knees bent, feet flat, interlace the fingertips behind your neck, elbows together, and then slowly lean back over the medicine ball, keeping a little bit of tension in the lower abdominals, chin tucked.